What up, though? Y'all know what this is. Respect the worst if you don't respect the best. Top tier podcast. I am Ledge. Let's get into it, man. King of the Dop and sorely missed. And they are back. They are back. They not playing. They not playing with us this year. I can see it. I can feel it. I told you guys, like they didn't organic put out a tweet, basically admitting to what I said a couple of episodes back, that they didn't have the best year last year, especially with their last card, to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. It was a bit underwhelming, to say the least. It was. Not only with the names on the card, but the performance of the names that was on the card. But they came right back, man, with these announcements. So in London on March 3rd, can't wait, man. Can't wait for this. You're talking about what we should have had last year. Battle for the chain. Head Ice versus Chilla Jones as the main event. And we, even in Head Ice's tweet about him not being able to make it, for that battle last year, he pretty much alluded to them doing something in London. And sure enough, true to word, true to form, that plays out. But what I didn't expect was Arsenal versus Soul. Soul versus Arsenal. That should be a good one. I feel like there's going to be a lot more dope battles on this card. Like, I just got this feeling that Organic and those guys over there in Gully, they've been like, I guess the word quiet assassins. Like, they've been seeing the moves URL's been making. They've been seeing what RBE's been doing. They've been seeing the love and adulation that Black Ice and Bullpen, like leagues like that, has been getting. That's growing their brands as well. They've been waiting to, patiently waiting for a track to explode on some 50 stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they've been patiently waiting. So I feel like with this card, they're going to just unload the clip and let everybody know that this is their year. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And like I said, with Arsenal, I feel like he's one of those guys who doesn't just rest on tradition and rest on what he's done in the past. And he looks forward. He kind of got this forward thinking. And so that's why it's not a surprise to me that, his performance versus Hollow and Pat was a little more underwhelming than his performance against the NJT. Because I feel like those older vets take more pride in going at the newer cats or the more recent cats than battling their peers who've been around as long as they've been around. I just don't think there's any motivation for that. And so that's why you've seen that performance against Hollow. But against NJT, he seemed like a whole new person. Also, it probably helped that he wasn't touring during the time he battled NJT, as opposed he was doing shows. I believe he was with Fetty Wap. I want to believe he was on the road with Fetty Wap during this time, writing and preparing for Hollow. So maybe that plays a part into it. But I also think the battles he's choosing to take, when you think about taking Geechee, got Geechee on the Smack coming up in February, the Smack Volume series. And now he got Soul, who's been climbing up the ranks, man. Been climbing up the ranks, and he's been long overdue for a battle of this magnitude. He's good. He's good. I don't want to say he's extraordinary yet. He has some moments. I do like his battle versus Ill Mac. People were saying maybe it was a little bit gassy. Maybe. But he deserved it. He had some lines in there that were really good. I like his pace. I really like his pacing when he rhymes. And I like, he can really throw together some nice multis, but he's a little more than just a multi-based rapper. He got subject matter and content that's really dope. Is he ready for Arsenal? Probably not. Probably not yet. I think he probably needs a little more seasoning, but I'm not mad at this matchup. I think we're going to get the best of Arsenal. Arsenal loves performing in London. So, traveling, going in London, it kind of brings out the best in Arsenal. If you look back at some of his past matchups, overseas, abroad. So I'm looking forward to that. And it just got me thinking about the potential of other people being on that card. Could we see Geechee on that card as well? Could we see maybe Ilmac again? I'm always like up for seeing Ilmac. I think he's dope and underrated. Could we see, DNA? DNA, and I feel like DNA and Organic and just those people at King of the Dot have a really good relationship. And also DNA is one of those guys like Arsenal who has a really good following overseas in London, and it could really pay dividends for them to get somebody of his caliber who really came off a really dope 2018 to be a part of that car. Like it's so many options. So many options. Disasters also said that he has some type of groundbreaking battle that's going to shake up the culture and the history and all this. A lot of people think it might be Eminem. A lot of people are saying like Eminem or Drake or somebody. I don't know. Because he's already battled a lot of the greats already. Could it be Lux or something? I don't know. But I feel like it's going to be on a King of the Dot card. Will it? I doubt it'll be on this card. But you never know, man. You never know. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see a lot of newer faces and guys that really, really going to bring it this card. Because I feel like this is a special event. World domination, man. I love just the whole aspect of being overseas, getting a different feel. Because if you just have this card, in the States, I feel like a lot of people are going to treat it just like a normal card and they're not going to bring their best. I feel like when you overseas, when you're in London, that crowd gives you a different source of different sense of energy that you might not get because they're hanging on every word, every bar a little bit more tentatively. Like they're more into all of your shit, even if you call it filler or not. Right. So I'm just looking forward to this card, man. March 3rd, World Domination 8. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. All right, moving right along. What's up, folks? Ledge here. Just want to talk to y'all real quick about some really dope travel gear from a company named Baboon. Look, we can all use some really nice travel gear on the road, kicking it with our friends, or we need it for business, right? So just check this out. Baboon makes technical duffel bags for all of life's adventures. Their bags use waterproof material, are tear-proof. It will last forever. Every bag comes with free shipping and a lifetime guarantee. Visit baboontothemoon.com and enter code MeSeason to receive 10% off your purchase. That's baboontothemoon.com, code MeSeason. baboontothemoon.com, code MeSeason. Yeah, so moving right along, to go from the good to like the absolute bad and the ugly. Verbal War Zone. I've talked about them a lot. That's a league I've talked about a lot. That's not like, I guess, your quote unquote top big league or whatever. But they've been putting out good content for the most part. And this is, I mean, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. They're only doing what they've been, geared up to do. All right. I can't blame them for people lack of preparation, lack of performance, just lack of being prepared to perform, and you're doing it on beat. So I understand that it's not maybe, it's not maybe your cup of tea and it's not what you're used to, but you signed up for it. You signed up for that. So I just got to talk about it. Chess. I won't say this. A lot of people are just, maybe I'm naive. If I'm naive for this, you guys can call me out. Follow me on Twitter at Podtier, PODTIER. I appreciate the follows. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Top Tier Podcast YouTube channel. It means a lot. It means a lot when you comment. It means a lot when you like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Shout out to Danny for commenting. Danny Myers, means a lot. Shout out to a lot of people who's just been following me and messing with me. But let's get into this, man, with chess. Oh, man. I was just bigging him up. I put him on a poll about like battles I would like to see. I actually thought Chess versus Danny Myers would be a good battle, but I feel like now it's a disrespect to Danny Myers. Somebody so consistent and so prepared and so about the culture, to put him against a guy who's potentially the most explosive combination of just bars and like his voice. Like Chess got the complete package when it's all said and done, right? He does. Like that's why so many people root for this kid, man, because there's very few that can write like him, project their voice like him, and like have that belief. Like he got all of it: the believability, the writing, the cadence, and just the way he structures his rounds is very unique, and all of that. But none of that matters when you fail the test. It's like taking the SAT test, and like the first thing you get wrong is spelling your own name. Like the first thing he gets wrong is not even being prepared and not remembering his material. So in this battle in Verbal Warzone, he goes against this cat. I believe his name is Fire the Misfit. Never seen him before, never heard of him, but he was actually dope. He even actually predicted like you're gonna choke all 3 rounds or something like that. That was like his first round. He came out and told Chess he was gonna choke. I'm sitting here looking like this kid is about to get embarrassed. Because when I look on YouTube to watch battles, I don't go to the comment section. So I just watch the battle. So I don't know what I don't know what I'm setting myself up for. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Man, sure enough, the dude, Chess, man, he is fumbling. This is probably the most, I couldn't sit through it. It was the most embarrassing performance or lack thereof I've ever seen. This is no hyperbole, like no gas, no brakes. This is straight up the worst performance I've ever seen from a battler, man. This was bad. Poor Charlie clips, and you gotta feel bad. I think Danny Myers said this, like you gotta feel bad for Steams just like see this happen. Like I couldn't take it. But I had to do my due diligence and watch all of it because I thought, there's some battles with Chess where maybe the first round he's shaky, but then like this last 2, you see why people like are pulling for him and why he's like still heavily regarded, because he got so much dope material and he like somehow gets through it still. Like the battle against DNA, first round sloppy, everything. Last 2 he was in his bag. Same thing against Av. It was none of that. He completely lost it. I think rapping on beat for him is the worst thing, because he's not, the way he rhymes and the way he builds, because sometimes he's not really a punch guy. And I said this to Verbal Warzone. I said this about their platform, that it's more catered towards industry guys or rapping battle rappers, like battle rappers who rap on a plane, like on a beat, rap with a rhythm, like a B Magic, like Mickey Fax, who was already on there, like a Cortez, who's already on there, wordplay guys who are kind of like rhythm all the time, flowing smoothly. Chess isn't like that. You watch any of his battles, it's a slow pace build up. Then I'm about to like hit you with all of this haymaker and all of this like energy and just projection. So having him on beat was just probably a bad mix. I don't know. And it's not Verbal Warzone's fault. They reached out. He said yes. He has to take that. I appreciate Verbal Warzone trying to get some more notable guys that we're familiar with. But maybe in this case, you kind of got to study the person you're trying to aim for. And Chess just wasn't the guy. He wasn't the guy for this. He seemed out of element. He just looked awful in this battle. And I feel sorry for him, because every time he builds his stock a little bit, whether it's with the Suge battle or with the battle versus NJT, which he was phenomenal, and even with the stumbles, like his second round in that battle was probably top 5 of my favorite rounds of last year. All that bouncing around won't faze me. Twerk, please don't make me shoot your old lady. Well, he say you ain't a goonie. You just slow. You about to see your baby's roof and go crazy. That wow, he was getting his bag that second round. Yo, Chess was crazy that round. Yeah, man. Yes, that's crazy. But anyway, he's not doing anything to help the stock, man. Every time he has a moment where he gets this resurgence and you start to hear his name, like, yo, Chess to come back. I wouldn't mind seeing him on another band or another, Born Legacy. And then he just hit you with, nope, I'm not ready. Here's why. Verbal Warzone was a big step back for him. He just got to make better decisions. Better decisions, more calculated battles to take, battles that make sense. And also, he got to condense his. People say he got to condense his material. It's not even that. He just got to take less battles. He got to get himself into a groove where he can build to that. Like, I feel like as soon as he hears the fanfare, how good he was against NJT, now he's on here doing this. He shouldn't have even took this battle. He shouldn't have took it. I don't care if it was against a bigger name. Like, this just really ain't your lane. Like, he should have waited for these band battles to come back around and kind of do what JC did when he was like heavily linked with RBE. Like, he kind of made RBE his home. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was his stage where he was the head honcho. A lot of people looked at him as one of the main guys for that brand. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Chess should have did that with the band series. Like, when you think of band, you think of Chess. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to tie yourself to a certain league or a certain platform or event to call your own, because I think with Chess is all about being comfortable. It's not a coincidence that some of his best performances, you look at him versus the Saga, it was small. It was really small, intimate. Same thing with Band. It was small, just intimate. Like, back when he was on the BET joints, small room, just him against his opponent. I feel like he's better suited for that. And he should know that. If I know that, he should know that. So I think he has to go back to the drawing board, be a little more selective, and be a lot more focused on his material. And yeah, I guess it's just wishful, hopeful, just thinking, wanting him to get better and do better and be better, because he's such a talent, man. If it goes the waste, it'll be a travesty. Off of that, I heard Bill Collector, shout out to Vada Fly, shout out to Showtime SP, check out Vada. I mean, people who listen to me probably listen to all these bloggers anyway, but they had a call up with Bill Collector, and he was saying some names, and he shouted out the name Brizz. Well, he said a few. He said Brizz, he said Hitman, he said Av. And I tweeted, like, to Brizz, because Brizz was on Twitter, say, yo, you want, Brizz said your name, he wants some of that smoke. And Brizz kind of like shunned him off. Like, there's a list of the top 20 guys. He'll be fired for those guys. I'm over here doing my thing, all this. But I think he can be talked into that, because I think Bill is going to show this year that last year wasn't a fluke, that he's really more focused. He actually material. He's been heavily improved since old Bill. Since I got the burner. Like, his material is actually much better. He's found a way to mesh what he used to do really well and to, like, actually becoming a better writer and having actually better bars. And, like, he kind of meshes the two. So Bill Collector has found himself, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes people a little longer to find themselves. But I think he's set himself up to have a really dope year this year. And I do want to see that battle between him and Brizz. I would love to see that, because I feel like what Bill was known for, Brizz kind of took that and elevated it. And took it to another level, like a performance, and not only being funny, but then he can be serious and hit you some really dope, heavy material. and he can act out his stuff just as good as anybody. So I do want to see that battle, even though Brizz is kind of like, like basically shunning it and pushing it to the side. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it if it happens. If not, that's cool. But share your thoughts with me on World Dom, on what you feel about chess, and what you feel about potential matchups for Bill, Brizz, or anybody. Like I said, you know the social at Pod Tier on Twitter. And please like, comment, share, subscribe on YouTube, Top Tier Podcast. Thank everybody for tuning in. And as always, keep it battle rap. Please keep it battle rap. All right. Love.